kind of snack do y'all want to do for this week? Let's do spicy snacks. So for this week, try to eat like spicy snacks only. And if you can't handle spicy, do like mild. I have a love spell story for y'all. I know how y'all love a good love spell story. And as much as I tell people to stop doing them, they still do it. And this story come from a person that did a love spell that they saw right here on TikTok. Clearly, she hadn't been following me since 2020, or she would know better. But anyway, we're going to get on with the story. Let's call this girl Tasha. So if you know a Tasha, tag her. So one day, Tasha's scrolling through her TikTok, right? She sees this specific TikTok teaching people how to do a successful love spell. And the person who posted this said that the love spell was foolproof and that the person will literally be obsessed with you. Now, Tasha halfway believes in that kind of stuff, but she also has a crush on her coworker. And I mean, like, that is her man. In her head, that is Tasha's man. Except her man does not notice her. He never speaks to her. Now, let's call this coworker Jamal. So Tasha is crushing on Jamal. Jamal is handsome. He's charming. He's funny. He's like the full package for Tasha. Except that, he doesn't know that she exists. Now, she saw a couple of these videos before, but for some reason, that specific video made her want to try it because when she looked at the comments was full of success stories. So why not? What could go wrong, right? So the spell was pretty simple. You're supposed to get a red candle, you light it, and you get some cinnamon. See, I just caught myself because I was going to say how to do it, but I'm not because I know some of y'all are still unhinged and y'all going to think it's okay to do it. But if you know which one I'm talking about because it went viral. Anyways, the next day after work, she went and she purchased the red candle. When she got home, she did the spell. What's the worst that could happen? Again, she did this halfway expecting it to work. So she does this and she goes to work the next day. Except work was different. Jamal, her man, who was always distant but polite, was speaking to her. And not only was he speaking to her, she would constantly catch him staring at her. And I'm not going to lie, she was pretty amazed. She was like, whoa, I really didn't think this thing was going to work, but I'm here for it. He started to talk to her more and more at work. He even started to text her constantly. That's so much better that Jamal started to bring her coffee to work without her asking. And Tasha loved every bit of minute of it. Now she could really be like, my man, my man, my man. Until her man started acting weird. First, it started with Jamal showing up to her apartment unannounced. His excuse was always that he just wanted to see her, and it's sweet, It raised like a little bit of eyebrow for Tasha, but it's still like, oh, he wants to see me. And then Jamal started to question her every move, like where she was, who she was with, why is she taking this long to text back. The once very handsome and charming Jamal became very obsessive. And Tasha really tried to brush it off as in, like, he's just an intense lover. Some people are just like that. And then it escalated. So boom, one night Tasha decided that she was going to go out with her friends, right? They decided that they were going to go to a bar, and that's what they did. They went, they're having fun, they're having drinks, they're having a time. As she's having fun, right, one of her friends' face completely changed. And she's like, what's wrong? And the friend is like, is that Jamal? And when she turned, it was indeed Jamal. He showed up at the bar mad as hell because she didn't invite him to their little get-together. Now, this is why he was mad, and this is why he showed up. But when he showed up and he realizes that one of the friends that Tasha went out with was a guy, that's when it got bad. He tried to yank her ass out of that bar. His jealousy quickly turned into aggression. And he demanded to know who the hell that guy was and why was she talking to him for that long and why is the guy here and she never told him and all of her friends ended up stepping in, including the guy that was there, her friend, and Jamal ended up having to leave. The bar kicked him out. Over the next few weeks, it got even worse, y'all. Mind y'all, this is a testimony. Jamal would blow up her phone, wait outside her apartment building, watching her every move to make sure she's not cheating. Mind y'all, they're not even in a relationship yet. It got to a point where Jamal started to threaten her and himself because he keeps saying that he doesn't know what's going on in his head. He doesn't like it, but he cannot live without her. Now, at this point, Tasha knows why this is happening. She knows what she did. She remembers that spell. Except now she doesn't really know what to do because she didn't even think this would work. And at this point, she's wishing she hadn't done that. She also ended up mentioning that after this whole situation happened, she ended up finding my page, and it made sense. Everything that I was saying was everything she was experiencing. But let's backtrack to the story. This is where it got so much worse because one night, Tasha is in her apartment, right? She's sleeping. She just woke up feeling like something was wrong. Nothing woke her up. She just felt something was wrong. And so she got up to go to the bathroom. And on her way to the bathroom, she sees a figure in her living room. Terrified, she screamed, ran back to her room, and called 911. She locked herself in there. She don't know what's going on, mind you. She's thinking she's getting robbed or somebody's breaking into her apartment, right? And so on the phone with the operator, she gives the police full permission to break down her door if they need to. When they came, it was Jamal. Jamal was in tears. Jamal keeps saying how he cannot live without her. Jamal ended up getting arrested and he got charged for breaking and entering. And he actually did end up going away for a little while because he did express very loudly how he cannot live without her and that he would rather harm himself or her than to live. Tasha ended up having to contact her employer and Jamal's family for help. And long story short, Jamal's family ended up having to move Jamal states away from Tasha. That's how she finally was able to get some kind of relief. But she says till this day, she still be scared that one day she's going to come home and Jamal traveled through states just to break into one of her apartments. Also, she did move from that apartment. And Tasha told me to tell y'all, it doesn't matter what type of love spell you see on TikTok, it's not worth it. It ain't nothing I haven't told y'all before, but I feel like maybe y'all would listen if it's somebody that went through it. He told me to tell y'all to please listen to Blizzy. She's not joking. Till this day, she's still scared for her life because she feels like any day now, Jamal's just going to pop up and take her out. So listen to me when well, matter of fact, y'all don't even got to listen to me. Go do you. I'm telling you not to do it. But if you want to do it anyway, you can become a Tasha. Anyways, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and on YouTube. Yeah, because if they take this app away, how else are you supposed to get your snacks and listen to my stories? Exactly.
We keep bringing up witchcraft for the okra water, and it just reminded me of a time where I did actual witchcraft with my best friend. And mind you, we were young. We were like 13 years old, so we didn't know any better. But things did not work out as planned. Like crazy things started happening in one night. So we're like 13 years old on the swing. I'm telling her about the crush I have. She's telling me about her crush. And she's just like, I read somewhere that you can actually do a love spell. And I'm just like, a love spell? Do tell. So she's just like, all you have to do is write his name, write your name on a piece of paper, and fold the paper up. And it was at the time when Victoria's Secret was really popular. So they had like this perfume called Love Spell. She was like, spray some of that perfume on the piece of paper and put it underneath your pillow and just go to sleep. So she had the perfume. I didn't have the perfume. I ain't had no money to buy the perfume. So I was like, okay, well, you do it tonight and then bring me the perfume tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow night. So we go home, whatever, and she does it. And then the next day we come back together, and literally that boy was all on her. The boy that she liked was like all on her. They were like this. And I was just like, what? It worked, y'all. So that night I got the perfume from her, and I do the same thing. And I like have my phone next to my pillow, so I fall asleep or whatever. I have the phone next to my pillow. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I get a text from the boy. I like, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know that this just didn't just work like that, right? So at that point, I was like, what? My man. I had that boy wrapped around my finger for like a whole week, y'all. But like weird stuff started happening. So first thing that happened is I caught my period for the first time. And if you know, caught my period for the first time. And then like I fell down a flight of stairs. I fell down the flight of stairs and I ripped my only winter jacket. Now this may seem like little juvenile things, but like I said, we were 13. So at the time, like that's big deal. Like that's a big deal, those things that were happening. So I was just like, you know what? I think this is like karma or something for me doing that love spell on the boy. I say all this to say that you cannot do anything that's will make a person go against their own will. Like, I'm, to this day, I'm big on manifestation and all that stuff, but you cannot make a person fall in love with you, and you cannot make anybody do anything against their own will. Like, that's something that we learned in like Disney movies back in the day. So yeah, y'all, just be careful with like any of that stuff. Like, I don't suggest to do it. Like, just stay away from it.
Let's talk about love spells, okay? In a world where a lot of witchcraft does happen and can happen, I don't ever recommend anybody trying to do a love spell with somebody else, because that essentially means that you're forcing someone against their will to come and love you in a way that you want to be loved, even if they're not trying to be with you. Do y'all not know how crazy that sounds? It literally screams that you are desperate for love. You are desperate for that attention that somehow, some way, nobody can give it to you, because you have believed that. So now you're going to go and put a spell on someone's will, against someone's will, my bad. And doing that is like you're asking for karma, because God doesn't even do a lot of things against y'all's will unless you ask. So there's a story going around about this lady named Tasha. I don't know if that's her real name or not, but she put a love spell on this guy. She was never into it, but supposedly she's seen around that it was this specific one love spell that she ran across was working for everybody. So she decided to try it. I don't know specifically what kind of love spell, but based off the story, it seemed like she probably put an obsession love spell. Like I said, someone is going to be obsessed with her type shit. And long story short story, they worked together. He never paid attention to her. After she put the spell on him, he ended up becoming really obsessed with her, showing up to her place, talking to her at work, showing up, almost literally yanking her out of a bar because she was talking to some friends, male friends at a bar. He was even saying, like, I don't know what's gone into me, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm going crazy if I'm not around you. I feel like I cannot live without you. I need to be around you. I need to see you. I need to watch man became obsessed. Literally even showed up to her place and sneaked into her place unexpectedly while she was sleeping one time. And then she woke up and she saw him in the hallway, and she called the police, and the police came by, and they basically like took him away. And he was saying that, like, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to kill her, me, whatever, because I can't, like, I need to be around her. And he just became really, really crazy. So they called the parents of the guy, and they were like, yeah, I don't know what's gone into him, but this man's really, it's gone. It's gone. And then she has said that she came out with an apology video, apologizing about it, saying that her karma came her way. Duh. Like, you literally did something against someone's will. This man never gave a fuck about you. Never. But because you were so desperate, because you never found that love within yourself, you forcibly made someone else come and love you. Now this man really, like, lost his mind because, yo, that's crazy. But anyways, fuck the apology video. Did you undo the spell, Tasha? Tasha, everybody wants to know if you undid that spell. Did you tell the man's parents that you did a spell on him? Did you ever tell this man that you put a spell on him? Like, your karma is going to keep coming until you undo that spell at least. Dang. It's like, you can literally do affirmations or write on your journal or a paper saying that you want a specific type of love, but don't attach, like, so many people have said this, and I'm not the type to be doing any spells on anybody in general, but if I'm going to manifest something, I like to write it down, say the affirmations as if I already have it. And if I want a specific type of love, I'm going to tell the universe I want this type of experience, these type of feelings, and preferably, maybe these type of looks. But I'm not going to specifically put a name and a specific character onto this piece of paper, because you never know what comes with that person. You never know. Like, this is crazy, and this is the thing with love spells. Like, I feel like a lot of people want a specific person, not realizing what stuff could come with that person.